As a virtual assistant, how was your first time experience when you managed your client's international travel? So here's my experience and how I was able to scale through managing my client's international travel for the first time. Last year, my client was to travel from the US to Ghana on a personal trip. And as his executive virtual assistant, I was tasked with managing every detail of that trip, from securing his visa to booking hospital appointments to arranging flights with layovers, long layovers that offer free hotels and shuttles through and from the airport, and every other travel essentials. So here are some tips that help me and can assist you as a first-time VA handling international travel for your client. Number one is visa requirement. So you need to check the destination country's official website your client intends to travel to. So you need to check if they require visa beforehand or visa upon arrival. You do not want your client being stuck in a country he's never been to before, trying to navigate his way on how to get visa because you failed to get visa prior to his travel. That's going to be insane, right? Number two is vaccinations. My client was traveling to Ghana, and one of Ghana's travel requirements is that you need to get a yellow fever vaccine and a yellow fever card. So I was tasked with booking appointments, hospital appointments ahead for him to get his vaccination, get the card, and every other vaccinations he will be needing for his travel. Right. So you need to know the country, your client's destination country. You need to know the requirements, which is very important. You need to know every requirement that country needs from your client. So your job is to make your client's travel easy and not difficult. Number three is weather forecast. This one was I casted. So while I told my client ahead of time that within the period he was to travel to Ghana, that Ghana was going to be very hot. Indeed, that was the right thing. It was going to be like the weather was going to be very hot. I failed to check the country he was going to be having the layover to know the weather forecast at that time. So when he got to Casablanca, he said, Amara, that's what he calls me. Why is Casablanca very cold? Because he traveled without, getting cardigan and all, because I already gave him an information that where he was going to be hot, right? And then he was like, Amara, why is this country very cold? And I was like, so sorry, I didn't know about it. That was a mistake. And I don't want you to make that mistake. Check the weather. Right. So number four, sorry, on the list is local SIM card. So that was where I aired. So while he had two layovers, he had one in Casablanca and another in Dubai when he was coming back to the US. Dubai offers free SIM card and they in that SIM card they give you data that can sustain you for 24 hours of your layover, right? Morocco didn't. So when he got to the airport, to the Morocco's airport, he told me, "Oh, my Wi-Fi is gonna go off soon," and I didn't know what to do. I had to start looking. I started looking for solution for him. That was an error, but thank God for my client. He gives room for mistakes and allow you to learn from it, right? And that is a mistake that would never happen again. So don't be like me. Don't make that initial mistake. Check if this country gives local SIM cards to your client. So the next point, I think that should be number five. I don't know. Layover amenities. So I mentioned earlier that my clients needed long layovers in Morocco and Dubai. He wanted to explore. He didn't just want a direct flight from US to Ghana. So why there are airlines that you can get direct flight, I was doing exactly as he said. So you need to pay attention to details to what your client wants. right? He not when he tells you to book a flight with long layovers, you're going to book a direct flight for him. They're gonna sack you. Don't mind me. So, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say anyway. So he needed, and he told me he didn't want to spend any money, right? So I already knew what his financial um, plan for the travel was. So I had to look for uh, airlines that offer that you can get long layovers, but then with free hotels and then free shuttles. So you need to check, you need to ask the right questions. Number 6 should be local tours. So I didn't want my clients to have a boring layover. I let him know ahead of time that, oh, you're going to have to pay for a local tour guide. And I didn't just tell him, hey, you're going to have to pay for a local tour guide, right? I brought the local tour guide. I did my research. I looked at reviews of every tour guide in Casablanca. I looked at every review. I was to every detail, so I will know this is what I am giving my clients. So I looked at that and I said, oh, this is the person you are going to be using for your tour guide, and he paid for it. So you have to break, give them every detail they need. Your job as a virtual assistant is to make their travel easy. It's not for them to go over there to start thinking, oh, you know, you have to take care of every little thing for them. That is your job as virtual assistant. And that was what I did. Not just as a virtual assistant, as his executive virtual assistant, I took care of everything. He experienced ease. And another thing that you need to also look is my client always like me to book, window seats for him. Everybody has preference, right? So he always loved that he gets window seats in the plane. You need to check that. You need to check their comfortability should be what you are after. So you need to check that. You need to be mindful. You need to ask questions down to every detail. Don't assume for them. This is going to help you and guide you in whatever you do. So this was my experience. I would like to hear from every other virtual assistant. What was your first time experience as when you manage your clients' international travel for the first time? Share your experiences, share your tips in the comment section. One thing I would not fail to mention is that when I needed help, YouTube was my go-to page, like my go-to website. YouTube came through for me. People shared their experiences. Other VAs shared for every country your client is going to. I'm telling you that there's someone who has shared that experience on YouTube. So this is why I am also putting my own experience out there that you would benefit from, so that you don't get so stuck and you don't have anybody or any place to go to, because most of those things are first time experiences, right? So save this video. It's going to be handy when you are to manage a client, your clients, travel, international travel. Thank you. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.